Well, good morning to you all. It's a little after 9 o'clock here on Saturday morning. And while I was opening the emails, just to start with, just while I was opening the emails and then suddenly on the television, it was announced not that the opening of churches could be brought forward to today. Because I didn't pick up any emails, obviously didn't know that was going to happen. We were planning to open on the 15th, and suddenly it was brought forward, probably with less than 24 hours notice, that we could actually open our churches, which seems that. And then all of a sudden on the BBC this morning was a report saying about churches being open for private prayer today. And there is a section then, which she actually run earlier in the week, which was saying about how various other places of worship, other religions, are not designed for private prayer, which sort of suggested that Christian churches are designed for public prayer. Want to come and look at our church, isn't it? That isn't designed for people being on its own. It's designed for people being together. Okay? And this is the BBC. And it's in these extraordinary times when people talk about misrepresentation, we are being represented as a faith community that isn't a community. It's all about the individual. And I find that strange. I find that actually offensive. They couldn't be bothered. The television media could not be bothered to think about it. If they come here and knock on our door, they'd see. If they ask any of you, they would see. You look around our church, it is there. I mean, one of the great complaints from vicars over the centuries has been sat in a cold church, say in the depths of January at 9 o'clock on the morning when it's freezing cold, say in the morning office on your own. The offices are meant to be said together as a great monastic tradition that came up from the Jewish understanding of prayer and worship and gathering together. Sorry about this rant this morning, but I just find it, and it's deeply, deeply offensive. You know, why? Because this was run before, why is not the media centre of the Church of England objecting and saying, no, that's wrong, you're putting out false representation of the church. We are meant to be get together. In fact, if anything, I can't celebrate communion on my own. It has to be more than two people around to do it. So I hope you at the beginning, upon that great congregational hymn, Love Divine, okay, and a church full of people singing it together. Would you want to be sat in a church singing on your own? No, it's meant to be that. Anyway, more news on church opening on Monday, okay? Still sticking to Monday because it gives us a chance to work things out. And that originally I thought was a good call, making it a Monday, because it gives you a chance to work things out before you hit perhaps a busier time, which would be a weekend. Any more on that, we're gonna nip to another piece of music.
Well, the Spirit came with fire tongues, the language broken, they all knew they spoke as one. Disciples said the words of God, 3,000 people said, my Lord, you're the one. Now the others said, oh, can't you see, it's inebriation, it's got them, they're really weak kneed. Oh no, it's not the spirit of gin, but the one from God, who comes and lives within. In your heart. So when you say that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of all your life, we sure be glad, be happy and say that the Spirit of God is resting here today. In my heart. The love. Let it come and reign in you. And let it pour all over you. And let it ooze right out of you too. And let it glorify the Christ in you. So when you say that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of all your life, be sure, be glad, be happy and say that there's a place in heaven and it's for me. The power of the Comforter's love. Let him come and reign in you. And let him pour over you. And let him ooze right out of you too. And let him glorify the Christ in you. So when you say that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of all your life, be sure, be glad, be happy and say that the Spirit of God is resting here today. In my heart.
And good evening again, folks. Okay, actually a few hours have passed since I last shared that part with you. Just had to sort of do some other things, and I suppose we're still smarting really from how the church is portrayed. As I say, from today, even though up until yesterday we were told Monday, churches are allowed to be open only for private prayer. Now just imagine it, just underline that point, and you think, well, perhaps Mark's going on and on a bit. But perhaps that our churches never meet again for Sunday service. It's just open for private prayer, nothing else. That makes the point, doesn't it? Churches aren't designed solely for private prayer. That's a secondary effect in necessity. They're there about us being together, corporateness. And it's interesting that the news media and outlets portray a very different image. And of course, we pay for that privilege as well, don't we? At the beginning and the end of that sequence, you see these sort of fuzzy images, okay? The old days when our televisions, when they would lose signal or they go off air and close down after the national anthem, God bless her, they would do that. What we're witnessing there, I'll put that on there just to illustrate something. Believe it or not, what you're witnessing is 1% of creation. Yeah, the creation. Okay, if we wind the clock back, if the sort of the mathematics work and everything of that nature, 1% of that fuzziness on our televisions is the leftover microwaves from the creation of our universe. That same universe that the Spirit hovered over at that point of creation, the same Spirit that came upon those first disciples, apostles, the same Spirit that comes upon us. That video should have been with you sort of a couple of weeks ago, but it actually took longer to arrange and get the sound right, so they're not perfect, of some of those tracks. So unfortunately it was slightly delayed, and then I wanted to shoot a video, but I wasn't getting the weather that I particularly wanted to do when I was available to do it. And so I had to sort of substitute stuff in there, otherwise it would just waited too long. Churches are opening on Monday. We've been exercising, cleaning the churches and making sure there's certain thoroughfares, so it's not just walking anywhere you like. From Monday, the churches will be opening. Okay, and I put on Facebook and around on the notices to be published tomorrow, the hours in which they will open. And each and every day, the church will be open at some point, at least for this first week, to see how things go. Excuse me. It'll be an hour each time, except for the Sunday following tomorrow, which will be for 2 hours at 10 o'clock and at 6 o'clock. And the others will be published. So each day, some will be the morning, some will be midday, some afternoon or early evening, a variety of times, and then we'll sort of see how it goes from there. Okay, and we allow time, obviously, for people to come in and to say a prayer or just to sit still. Obviously, the usual things about social distancing apply and everything else. And there's a few bits of tape, trying to use as little bits of tapes as possible. It's easy to sort of say, oh, ways in, ways out, but you know, we're dealing with buildings that are almost 1,000 years old and trying to create that sense of what everybody talks about. So there is a sense of being sensible, being distant, being considerate, and we can actually all get in and get out and be safe with it. And now moving on to prayer. Normally I would run the sequence on there, but the video is going to end at this point. I'm going to do 2 parts, so it doesn't make one great big, long, massive video. If you please search out part 2 of this video, and then there's some prayer, a further reflection, and we finish off with a hymn. Thank you.